Hello everyone, welcome to the English Globe. I hope you are all doing very well today. It is so nice to be here with you again for another exciting and very helpful episode. My name is Adam, and as always, I am here with my wonderful friend and co-host, Julia. Before we start, I just want to say thank you to all of you who listen to us every week, practice your English with us, and continue to grow and improve your English skills. You are doing an amazing job, and we are so proud of you. Today, we have a very special topic that I think will be very interesting, very useful, and very inspiring for all of you. Today, we are going to talk about a big and important topic, the secrets of highly successful people. Yes, that's right. We are going to learn what makes some people so successful in their lives, what they do differently, and what we can learn from them. It is going to be a very exciting conversation, and we hope that by the end of today's episode, you will feel motivated, happy, and ready to take small steps towards your own success too.
Hello everyone. It's so great to be here with you today. Thank you, Adam, for the wonderful introduction. I am very excited about today's topic because I think learning about success is not only interesting, but it is also very important, especially for people who are learning English, just like you. When we talk about successful people, we often think about famous names, big achievements, and amazing stories. But the real secret is that success is not only for famous people. Success can be for anyone, including you and me. It does not matter where you are from, how old you are, or how good your English is right now. What matters is your attitude, your habits, and your dreams. Learning about how successful people think and live can teach us a lot. Not only about reaching our goals, but also about how to stay positive, how to work hard, and how to believe in ourselves. And when you are learning English, having these good habits and a positive mind is very, very important too, because sometimes learning a new language can feel difficult, but if you stay strong and believe in yourself, you can achieve great things.
That's so true, Julia. And that's exactly why we wanted to talk about this topic today. Because learning English is a journey, just like the journey to success. It takes time, it takes practice, it takes patience, and it takes belief. So today, we are not only going to tell you about the secrets that helped famous people become successful, but we are also going to show you how you can use these secrets in your own life, starting today, even if you are just beginning your English learning journey. You don't have to be perfect. You don't have to be the best. You just have to keep moving forward, one small step at a time.
Exactly, Adam. And to make it very easy for you, we are going to break everything into small parts today. First, we will talk about what success really means because success can be different for different people. Then, we will share with you some of the most important secrets that almost all successful people have in common, like working hard, thinking positively, never giving up, building good habits, and always learning new things. For each secret, we will explain it very slowly and clearly, and we will give you real examples and small stories to help you understand better. We will also give you simple tips that you can start using today, not only to improve your English, but also to move closer to your personal dreams.
And at the end of the episode, we will share some real stories of famous people who started with very little, who faced many problems, but who never gave up and finally achieved amazing success. These stories are very powerful because they show that success is possible for everyone, including you. You don't need to be rich, you don't need to be a genius, you just need to believe, work, and keep going. We hope that after listening to this podcast, you will feel full of energy, full of hope, and full of new ideas for your English journey and for your life journey too.
So, if you are ready to feel inspired, to learn new words and ideas in English, and to move one step closer to your own success, then stay with us until the end of today's episode. Make sure you listen carefully, practice repeating some sentences after us if you want, and remember, you are already successful just by being here and trying to learn. Let's get started.
All right, friends. Before we talk about the secrets of successful people, let's first take a little time to understand what success really means. Because sometimes, when we hear the word success, We quickly think about rich people, famous people, or people who have big houses and expensive cars. But actually, success is not only about money, and it is not only about fame. Success is a very big idea, and it can mean different things to different people. So let's keep it very simple. Success, in easy words, means reaching your goal. That's it. If you set a goal for yourself, and you work hard, and you finally reach that goal, then you are successful. It does not matter if the goal is big or small. It does not matter if the goal is something personal, something professional, or something just for fun. Success is about dreaming, working, and finally making that dream come true. Success is about doing your best, even when things are hard, and feeling proud of yourself for trying, for learning, and for moving forward.
That's a beautiful way to explain it, Adam. And I completely agree. You know, sometimes people think that success is only for very special people, like actors, athletes, scientists, or millionaires. But that is not true at all. Success is for everyone, and success can look very different for every person. For example, for one person, success might mean starting a big company and becoming very rich. For another person, success might mean learning to speak English confidently so they can travel to a new country and make new friends. For someone else, success might mean finishing school, getting a good job, or simply feeling happy and healthy every day. There is no one perfect way to be successful. What is important is that you decide what success means to you. You choose your dream, you work for it, and you celebrate every small step you make along the way.
Yes, Julia. And that is so important for all of our listeners to understand. Your success is your success. It is not about comparing yourself to others. It is not about being better than someone else. It is about becoming the best version of yourself. For example, maybe you are learning English right now and you feel shy when you speak. But then one day, you have a small conversation in English with a tourist, or you order your coffee in English without feeling afraid. That is success. Maybe you are trying to read your first English book, and after many weeks, you finish it. That is success too. Maybe you are working very hard to get a better job, and after months of trying, you get the interview and the job offer. That is another great success. Success is everywhere, in small things and in big things, and it always starts with a dream and a decision to try.
Exactly, Adam. And I think it is very important for our listeners to know that success is not always fast, and it is not always easy. Many successful people that we know today had to work for many years before they became successful. They had to be patient. They had to keep trying even when they failed. For example, J.K. Rowling, the famous writer of the Harry Potter books, was rejected by many publishers before someone finally said yes. Now her books are loved all over the world. Or think about Thomas Edison, the man who invented the light bulb. He failed many, many times before he finally found a way to make it work. But he did not give up. And today, we still use light bulbs everywhere, thanks to his hard work. These are big examples, but they show us that success is a journey. It is not a straight road. It is full of learning, trying, and growing.
That's right, Julia. And if we look at everyday life, we can find success stories all around us. Think about a mother who works very hard to take care of her children and give them a better life. She is successful. Think about a student who studies late at night after working all day. He is successful. Think about a person who was afraid to speak in public, but finally stands up and gives a small speech. That is success too. You don't have to be rich. You don't have to be famous. You just have to keep moving towards your dream, little by little, step by step.
Yes, and I want to remind everyone listening today that your success is your own story. It does not matter how fast you move. It does not matter how many times you fall down. What matters is that you keep going. What matters is that you believe in your dream and you keep trying, even when it feels hard. And when you do that, when you keep moving forward with courage and hope, you are already successful, even before you reach the final goal. Because success is also about the person you become while you are working for your dream. You become stronger, you become wiser, you become more confident, and that is a beautiful thing.
Beautiful words, Julia. So friends, as we continue in today's episode, we invite you to think about what success means for you. Maybe it is speaking English fluently. Maybe it is getting a new job. Maybe it is feeling more confident every day. Whatever your dream is, remember, it is your dream, and it is special and important. And today, as we share the secrets of highly successful people, we want you to feel that these secrets are not far away. They are tools that you can use in your life too, starting today. You have everything you need inside you to become successful. You just need to believe it and keep working little by little.
Yes, you are already on your way just by listening, learning, and dreaming. We are very excited to share more with you. So now, let's move to the first big secret of highly successful people. Hard work.
All right, everyone, welcome back. Now, let's start talking about the very first and one of the most important secrets of highly successful people. And that secret is hard work. If you look at any person who has achieved something great in their life, whether they are a famous actor, a great athlete, a successful business person, or even a wonderful teacher, you will always find one thing in common. They worked very, very hard for a long time, and they did not give up even when things were difficult. Hard work means doing your best every single day, even when you feel tired, even when you feel lazy, and even when success feels far away. It means waking up early sometimes, practicing your skills when nobody is watching, and continuing to learn even when you feel like stopping. Many people think that success happens quickly or easily, but the truth is, success usually comes after many hours, many days, and many years of working hard when it would be easier to just rest or give up. Hard work is the bridge that takes you from your dreams to your reality, and without hard work, even the biggest dreams stay only dreams and never come true.
That's so true, Adam. And I think it's really important for all of you listening to remember that hard work is not only for famous people. It is something that we all can do in our own lives. And it always makes a big difference, even in small ways. For example, think about a student who wants to improve their English speaking skills. If that student practices speaking every day for just 15 or 20 minutes, even if they make mistakes, even if they feel shy, after some time they will see a big improvement because their hard work will pay off. Or think about a young person who goes to school all day and then works a small job in the evening to help their family. They are showing hard work too, and even if they are tired, even if it is difficult, they are building a strong future with every small step they take. Hard work does not always look beautiful or exciting. Sometimes it looks like staying up late to finish a project, waking up early to practice before school, or trying again after making a mistake. But every time you choose to work hard instead of giving up, you are becoming stronger, smarter, and closer to your dream.
Exactly, Julia. And to show you how powerful hard work really is, I want to tell you a short story about one of the most successful athletes in the world, Cristiano Ronaldo. Many people know Cristiano Ronaldo today as one of the greatest football players ever, but what many people do not see is how much hard work he did to get there. When Ronaldo was young, he grew up in a small, poor home on an island called Madeira, and life was not always easy for him or his family. He had a big dream to become a professional football player, but there were many challenges, and nothing was easy at the beginning. He had to move far away from his home when he was only 12 years old to join a football academy, and he was very lonely, very homesick, and sometimes very sad. But Ronaldo did not let the hard times stop him. He trained harder than anyone else. While other boys were sleeping, he was practicing. While others were relaxing, he was running, jumping, lifting weights, and practicing his shots. He decided that if he worked harder than everyone else, he could become the best, and that is exactly what he did. Today, Cristiano Ronaldo is famous, rich, and loved by millions of fans, But behind all the success, there are thousands and thousands of hours of training, sacrifice, and very hard work. His story shows us that talent is good, but hard work is even better. And if you are willing to work hard, you can reach amazing heights in your life too.
That's a really inspiring story, Adam. And it reminds me that behind every great success, there is always a story of hard work, struggle, and sacrifice that most people never see. Another example that I love to share is Oprah Winfrey, who is one of the most successful television hosts and businesswomen in the world today. But when Oprah was a young girl, she lived in a very poor family and faced many difficult problems growing up. Many people told her that she would never be successful, but Oprah believed in herself, and she worked harder than anyone else. She studied hard in school, she practiced speaking and reading, she never gave up on her dreams, and even when people said no to her, even when life was unfair, she continued working towards her goals with determination and a strong heart. Today, Oprah is not only rich and famous, but she has helped millions of people through her shows, books, and speeches, and she always says that her success came because she worked harder than anyone else and never let failures stop her. Her life teaches us that it does not matter where you start. What matters is how much heart, how much effort, and how much hard work you are willing to give every single day.
That's so true, Julia. And I think all of you listening today can take a very important lesson from these stories. Success is not about luck. It is not about magic. And it is not even always about being the smartest or the most talented. Success is about working hard when nobody is clapping for you, practicing when nobody is watching, studying when everyone else is relaxing, and believing in yourself when things feel slow and difficult. And this is not just for famous people. This is for you too. If you are learning English and you practice speaking even when you feel shy, you are working hard. If you study 10 new words every day and practice using them in sentences, you are working hard. If you listen to podcasts like this one and try to understand more English every day, you are working hard. And every small effort you make will add up over time, just like drops of water filling a big ocean. One day, you will look back and see how far you have come, and you will be so proud of the person you became because you chose to work hard when it was not easy.
Yes, and we want you to remember that hard work is not about being perfect. It is about being consistent, being brave, and being patient with yourself. Even if you make mistakes, even if you feel tired, even if you sometimes feel slow, just keep going. Because every small action, every small step, every small practice session is bringing you closer to your dream. And that is the real magic of hard work. It turns small, simple actions into big, amazing results over time. So, be proud of every little effort you make and trust that your hard work will lead you to success, just like it did for Ronaldo, for Oprah, and for so many other people around the world.
All right, my friends. Now that we have talked about the importance of hard work, let's move to another very powerful secret of highly successful people. And that secret is something that happens inside the mind, something that you cannot always see but is very important for success, and that secret is called positive thinking. Positive thinking means choosing to believe that good things can happen, that problems can be solved, that mistakes are not the end, and that you can find a way to succeed, even when life feels difficult or confusing. It means training your mind to look at situations and challenges in a hopeful way, instead of feeling scared, angry, or hopeless all the time. When you think positively, you give yourself more energy, more ideas, and more strength to keep moving forward toward your dreams. And even though positive thinking does not solve every problem immediately, it gives you the courage and motivation you need to keep trying, learning, and growing until you find success.
That's right, Adam. And it is important to remember that positive thinking does not mean you have to pretend that everything is perfect all the time. It simply means that you believe deep inside that problems can be solved, mistakes can be fixed, and better days are coming if you keep trying and do not give up. For example, imagine you are learning English, and one day you try to speak, but you make a mistake and feel a little embarrassed. A negative thinker might say, I am so bad at English, I will never learn. But a positive thinker will say, it's okay to make mistakes, I am learning, and I will get better with practice. That small difference in thinking makes a huge difference in the journey towards success. Because when you think positively, you give yourself permission to keep going, to try again, and to believe in your future even when today feels hard.
Exactly, Julia. And if we look at the lives of many successful people, we will see that positive thinking was a big part of their story. For example, let's talk about Thomas Edison, the man who invented the electric light bulb. Edison is famous because he failed many times before he finally succeeded. In fact, it is said that he tried over 1,000 different ways to make the light bulb work before he finally found the right method. Now, imagine if Edison had a negative mind. Maybe after failing 100 times, he would have said, I'm not smart enough, I should quit. But because he had a positive mind, he said something very powerful. I have not failed. I have just found 1,000 ways that do not work. This way of thinking helped him stay strong, stay curious, and keep trying until he finally created something that changed the whole world. Without positive thinking, maybe we would not even have the light bulbs we use every day now.
That is such a great story, Adam. And it really shows us that positive thinking is not just about feeling happy. It is about how you choose to look at your problems and your failures. It is easy to think positively when everything is going well. But real positive thinking shows its power when things are not going perfectly, when you are tired, when you feel like giving up, and when success feels far away. If you can teach your mind to say, this is hard, but I can do it, or I made a mistake, but I will learn and try again, then you are already thinking like a successful person. It is not about pretending life is easy. It is about choosing hope over fear, choosing action over sadness, and choosing to believe that you are capable of growing and succeeding step by step.
Absolutely, Julia. And I want to give another easy example for all of you listening today. Imagine a person who wants to start a small business, maybe selling handmade jewelry, but at the beginning, nobody buys anything. If this person thinks negatively, they might say, nobody likes my work, I am a failure, and they might quit too soon. But if they think positively, they might say, maybe today was slow, but tomorrow is a new day. Maybe I can try a new design. Maybe I can tell more people about my shop. Maybe success is just around the corner. This kind of thinking keeps people moving forward, even when the results are not perfect yet. And in the end, positive thinkers are usually the ones who reach their goals because they did not let temporary failure stop them.
Yes, and it's very important for English learners too. When you learn a new language, you will have days when it feels easy and fun. But you will also have days when it feels slow and difficult, and on those days, positive thinking becomes your best friend. Instead of saying, I'm not good at English, say, I am still learning, and every day I am getting better. Instead of thinking, I cannot understand everything, think, I understand more today than I did yesterday, and tomorrow I will understand even more. Changing your thinking, even in small ways, can make a huge difference in how fast and how happily you grow.
That's so true, Julia. And positive thinking is something you can practice every day, just like practicing English speaking or writing. You can start by noticing your thoughts, and when you hear a negative thought like, I can't do it, gently change it to a positive one like, I am learning how to do it. You can write positive sentences in a notebook, like, I am improving every day, I believe in my journey, or small steps will lead me to big dreams. Reading these positive sentences every morning or every night can train your brain to stay strong and hopeful, even when life feels hard.
And don't forget, Adam, that successful people are not positive because everything in their life is easy. They are positive because they have learned that their mind is the strongest tool they have, and by keeping their mind filled with hope and courage, they can keep moving even when life gives them a lot of challenges. Your mind is like a garden. If you plant positive, hopeful thoughts, your life will grow in beautiful ways. But if you let negative, fearful thoughts stay too long, it will be harder to find the strength to keep going. So, be careful about what you tell yourself every day, and make sure you are planting good seeds of hope, strength, and positivity.
Exactly, Julia. And we believe that every single one of you listening right now is capable of thinking positively, growing stronger, and achieving wonderful things, not just in English learning, but in all parts of your life. Positive thinking is a choice, and the more you practice it, the easier it becomes. And soon, you will notice that your days feel lighter, your heart feels stronger, and your dreams feel closer. So always remember, your thoughts are powerful, and by choosing positive thinking, you are already taking a very important step toward becoming a highly successful person. All right, my friends. Now that we have spent some good time talking about how important hard work is and how powerful positive thinking can be, it is time for us to move forward to another very important secret that almost every highly successful person uses in their life journey. And that secret is called setting clear goals. Because without clear goals, it is very easy to feel lost, confused, and tired. But with clear goals, you know exactly where you are going and what you need to do every day to move closer to your dream. Setting clear goals means that you do not just say something general like, I want to be successful, or I want to be good at English, but you take a moment to think carefully and say something specific like, I want to finish reading 1 English book this month, or I want to learn 10 new words every day. Because when your goal is clear and simple, your mind can understand it better, your heart can feel it more strongly, and your actions can become faster and smarter.
Yes, Adam. And I think it is very important to help our listeners understand that when you do not have a clear goal, it is almost like you are trying to drive to a new and exciting city without having a map, a GPS, or any directions at all, which means you might drive around and around without getting closer to your dream. You might waste a lot of time doing things that do not help you. And you might feel frustrated because you are not sure if you are moving in the right direction or just going in circles. But when you take a little time to set a clear goal, even a small and simple one, it becomes like holding a bright map in your hand, showing you which roads to take, helping you stay focused, and giving you more confidence and peace even when the journey gets a little hard or slow. Because you know exactly where you are trying to go, and you can celebrate every little step you complete on the way.
Exactly, Julia. And let me give a very easy and friendly example to make this idea even clearer for everyone who is listening today, because I believe simple examples help us really understand deep ideas in a fun way. Imagine someone says, I want to get healthy, which is a beautiful dream and a wonderful thing to wish for, but it is not a clear goal, because healthy can mean many different things, and without details, it is hard to know where to start, how to continue, or when you have reached success. But if this person says, I will walk for 30 minutes every morning, or I will eat vegetables with every meal, then they have created a very clear and easy goal, something they can check every day, something that makes success feel closer, and something that helps them take small, powerful steps toward a much bigger and beautiful dream over time.
Yes, Adam. And setting clear goals is also incredibly important, maybe even more important, when you are learning something new like the English language, because when you just say, I want to be good at English, it can feel too big, too far, and sometimes too scary. But if you decide to make smaller, simple, and clear goals like I will listen to 1 English podcast every morning, or I will learn 5 new English words before I go to bed every night, or I will practice speaking English for 15 minutes with a friend every afternoon, then suddenly your big dream feels possible, your days feel exciting, and you start to feel proud and happy because you can actually see your progress little by little every day.
And Julia, sometimes when people have very big and beautiful dreams, like becoming fluent in English or starting their own business or traveling around the world, they can feel a little scared or tired because the dream seems so far away or so difficult to reach. But if they learn the magic of setting clear and simple goals, They can break their huge dream into tiny, easy steps that feel possible and joyful to do, because every small goal you complete is like building one small brick in a big, strong house that will someday be finished if you just keep adding bricks, one at a time, with patience, love, and belief.
That's so true, Adam. And I really believe that many people give up not because they are not smart enough or strong enough, but simply because they did not make their goals small and clear enough to feel progress every day. Because when you only look at the big mountain, it looks scary. But if you focus on just the next small step, it feels easy and exciting. And every little success gives you more energy to keep climbing until one day you reach the beautiful top and realize that every tiny step mattered and helped you get there.
And my friends, remember, successful people are not successful because they are lucky or because life was always easy for them. They are successful because they learned how to create clear goals, how to focus on those goals every day, and how to keep moving forward even when life gets busy, confusing, or difficult. And if they can do it, you can too. Because success is not a secret club for special people. Success is something anyone can build if they know the right tools. And one of the biggest tools is the beautiful power of setting clear and simple goals.
Yes, and I want to add, Adam, that when you set a goal, it is also very helpful to write it down on paper. Because writing your goal makes it feel more real, more serious, and more powerful. And every time you look at that paper, it reminds you of what you want, why you started, and how far you have already come. So do not be afraid to dream big, but also remember to write small, clear goals that you can work on every day with happiness, love, and excitement in your heart.
That is so beautiful, Julia. And I hope everyone listening today understands that setting clear goals is not something difficult or complicated. It is something simple, something beautiful, and something that gives you real power to move closer to your dreams, one little step at a time. So tonight, before you go to bed, take 5 minutes, think about something you really want, and write one small, clear goal you can start tomorrow, because your future is waiting for you. And every small step you take brings you closer to a life full of success, joy, and amazing possibilities. All right, my friends. Now that we have learned about working hard, thinking positively, and setting clear goals, it's time to talk about another very powerful secret that almost every successful person uses in their life. And that secret is something very strong, very important, and very beautiful. It is called never giving up. Because no matter how talented you are, no matter how smart you are, and no matter how big your dream is, you will face problems. You will face hard days. You will face mistakes. And you will sometimes feel tired or even feel like you want to quit. But successful people become successful because they keep going, even when life becomes very difficult. They keep believing even when everything feels heavy. And they keep moving forward step by step, until they finally reach their dreams.
Yes, Adam. And I think it is very important for our listeners to know that successful people are not people who never feel tired or who never make mistakes, because actually they feel tired just like everyone else, and they make mistakes just like everyone else. But what makes them special is that they do not stop. They do not give up, and they do not let a small mistake, a small failure, or a small problem stop them from continuing to walk toward their dreams. And every time they fall down, they take a deep breath. They stand up again, and they try one more time, because they know that falling down is not the end. It is just part of the beautiful journey towards success.
Exactly, Julia. And I want to share a very simple story to make this idea even more clear, because stories help us understand things deeply and feel them in our hearts. Imagine a little baby who is learning how to walk for the first time in their life. The baby stands up and takes one small step, but very quickly the baby falls down on the floor, and maybe the baby even feels a little pain or feels scared. But what does the baby do? The baby does not say, "Oh no, I fell down. Maybe walking is too hard for me. Maybe I should just give up forever." No. The baby smiles, or maybe even cries a little. But then the baby tries again and again and again, until one day they can walk, they can run, they can jump, and they can move around the world with confidence. And the same is true for all of us, even when we are adults, because every new thing we want to learn, every big dream we want to achieve, will ask us to try, fall, learn, and try again without giving up.
That is such a beautiful way to explain it, Adam, because I think sometimes adults forget that learning and growing always include falling down and making mistakes and feeling unsure. But if we remember that even a small baby needed to fall many times before learning to walk, we can feel stronger and braver to continue, even when our journey feels slow or hard. And when we understand that falling down is not a failure, but actually a very natural and necessary part of success, we can celebrate every time we stand up again, knowing that every small try is making us smarter, stronger, and closer to reaching our beautiful goals.
And Julia, when I look at the stories of very famous and successful people around the world, I see the same lesson again and again, because if you read about people like Walt Disney, who was told many times that he had no creativity, or J.K. Rowling, the famous writer of Harry Potter, who was rejected by so many publishers before her book finally became loved by millions, or Thomas Edison, who tried thousands of times before creating the light bulb, you will see that they all had many failures, many rejections, and many difficult days. But the reason we know their names today is because they refused to give up. They believed in their dreams, and they kept trying again and again until they succeeded.
Yes, and that is so inspiring, because it teaches us that it does not matter how many times you fail. It only matters how many times you are willing to stand up and try again. Because every time you stand up after a fall, you are building more strength inside your heart, more power inside your mind, and more belief inside your soul. And slowly, even without noticing, you are becoming the kind of strong, brave person who can achieve anything you dream of. Because success is not about being perfect. It is about being patient, loving yourself even when things are hard, and promising yourself that you will never give up no matter what happens.
Exactly, Julia. And my dear listeners, I want you to know that every person who ever achieved something great in life had moments when they cried, moments when they felt tired, moments when they wanted to quit. But what made them successful is that even after crying, even after feeling tired, even after thinking about quitting, they wiped their tears, they rested a little, and then they said to themselves, "I will try one more time." And that small decision, that brave little decision to try again, made all the difference and turned an ordinary life into an extraordinary life.
And Adam, I think it is also important to tell everyone listening today that it is okay to feel sad sometimes. It is okay to feel tired sometimes. And it is even okay to take a short rest when you need it, because resting is not the same as quitting. And sometimes your body, your mind, and your heart need a little time to relax, to heal, and to remember why you started your journey in the first place. But after you rest, always come back to your dream. Always take one more step, and always believe that you are stronger than any problem that tries to stop you.
That's so true, Julia. And I hope all our listeners today can remember this beautiful lesson, that the road to success is not a straight, easy road without problems or mistakes. It is a road full of ups and downs, full of lessons and surprises. But every step, every fall, and every small success is making you stronger, smarter, and closer to your dreams. So if you can promise yourself today that you will never give up, no matter how slow the journey feels or how hard the road becomes, you will already be a winner, because the true secret of success is not just starting a dream. It is continuing the dream even when it feels difficult.
Yes, and I would love to finish this part by telling all of you that you are already doing something wonderful just by listening to this podcast today, because it shows that you care about your dreams, you care about your future, and you are willing to take time to learn, to grow, and to become better. And if you keep this beautiful spirit inside you, and you keep trying every day without giving up, no matter what happens, I believe with all my heart that you will create a life full of success, happiness, and beautiful memories.
All right, my wonderful friends, we have already talked about some very important secrets of highly successful people, like working hard, thinking positively, setting goals, and never giving up. But now, it is time to talk about one more secret that is truly very powerful, very beautiful, and very important. And that secret is something that never ends, something that keeps growing for your whole life. And that secret is called keep learning always. Because successful people understand that no matter how much they know today, there is always something new they can learn tomorrow. And no matter how good they are today, there is always a way to become even better if they keep learning, growing, and improving every single day.
Yes, Adam. And I think this is one of the most wonderful things about success, because it means that you do not have to be perfect today. You do not have to know everything right now, and you do not have to be the best immediately. You just have to keep an open heart, keep an open mind, and be willing to learn new things every day, little by little, because learning is not something that ends after school or after university. Learning is something that can continue for your whole life. And the more you learn, the more doors you can open, the more opportunities you can find, and the more confident and happy you can become as you walk toward your dreams.
Exactly, Julia. And when we look at the lives of very successful people around the world, we can clearly see that even after they became rich, even after they became famous, even after they reached some of their big goals, they still continued learning, reading, studying, practicing, and asking questions, because they understood that the world is always changing. New ideas are always being created. And if you want to stay strong, stay smart, and stay successful, you must keep learning, keep growing, and keep adding new knowledge and new skills to your life every single day. Just like a beautiful tree keeps growing its branches and leaves toward the sky.
That is such a beautiful way to explain it, Adam, because I really believe that learning is like watering a flower. Because if you water a flower every day with love, attention, and care, the flower will grow more beautiful, more colorful, and more strong. But if you stop watering the flower, it will become weak and dry, and it will not be able to grow anymore. And in the same way, when we keep learning, we are watering our mind, our heart, and our dreams, and we are giving ourselves the energy, the ideas, and the strength we need to continue shining brightly in the world, no matter where we start or how big our dreams are.
Yes, Julia, and I want to share a very simple example to make this idea even more easy to understand for everyone listening. Because imagine you are learning English, just like you are doing right now by listening to this podcast. And maybe at first, it feels very hard. Maybe at first, you do not understand every word. Maybe at first, you feel shy to speak. But if you decide that you will keep learning a little every day, maybe reading a short story, maybe listening to a podcast like this, maybe practicing 5 new words, maybe speaking a few simple sentences, then slowly, without even noticing, you will become better, you will become stronger, and one day you will realize that you can understand, you can speak, and you can communicate with people all around the world.
That is such a perfect example, Adam, because learning English is a journey, just like learning anything else in life. And at the beginning of any journey, we always feel slow, we always feel unsure, and we always make many small mistakes. But if we promise ourselves that we will keep learning a little bit every day, and we will not stop even when it feels hard, then day by day, month by month, and year by year, we will build a beautiful mountain of knowledge, and we will become the kind of person who feels proud, strong, and ready to follow bigger dreams and bigger adventures around the world.
Exactly, Julia. And I think another important thing to remember is that learning is not only about books, schools, or classrooms, because learning can happen in many beautiful ways every day, like reading a book, listening to a podcast, watching a video, having a conversation with a friend, traveling to a new place, trying a new skill, asking questions, or even making mistakes and learning from them. Because the truth is, that life itself is a beautiful teacher, and every experience we have, every challenge we face, and every new thing we try is a wonderful opportunity to learn and grow if we keep our heart open and our mind curious.
Yes, and I think it is also very beautiful to remember that learning is not a race, and it is not about comparing yourself to other people, because every person has their own speed, their own style, and their own special journey. So if you can focus on your own small progress every day and celebrate every little thing you learn, even if it feels small, you will feel much happier, much more motivated, and much more successful inside your heart. And you will discover that learning is not something you have to do. It is something you get to do, a gift you give to yourself to make your life richer, brighter, and more exciting.
That's so true, Julia. And my dear friends listening today, I want you to know that even if you learn just one new thing today, one new English word, one new idea, one new skill, you are already growing, you are already winning, and you are already becoming a more powerful, more confident, and more successful person. Because success is not about how fast you move. It is about how much you are willing to keep moving forward, step by step, day by day, with patience, love, and a deep promise inside your heart that you will never stop learning, no matter how old you are, no matter where you live, and no matter how big or small your dreams may be.
And Adam, I think it is very inspiring to remember that some of the greatest minds in history, like Albert Einstein, who gave the world so many amazing scientific ideas, or Leonardo da Vinci, who was a painter, a scientist, and an inventor, were always curious, always asking questions, always exploring new ideas, and always learning, even when they were already famous and respected, because they knew that the true magic of life is not in knowing everything, but in always being excited to learn something new, to grow a little more, and to discover new parts of this beautiful and surprising world we all live in.
That's right, Julia. And my wonderful friends, as we come to the end of this part, I want to leave you with one simple but very powerful thought. Successful people are not successful because they are lucky or perfect. They are successful because they never stop learning, they never stop growing, and they never stop believing that every day is a new chance to become a better, wiser, and more loving version of themselves. So if you can wake up every morning with a heart full of curiosity, a mind open to new ideas, and a spirit excited to learn, I believe that you will create a life full of magic, success, and endless possibilities.
And remember, dear listeners, that you are already on this beautiful journey of learning, growing, and succeeding just by being here with us today. And we are so proud of you, and we are so excited for all the beautiful things that your future holds. Because with a heart that loves learning, there is truly no limit to what you can achieve, and no dream that is too big to reach.
All right, my amazing friends, now that we have talked about all these beautiful secrets that highly successful people follow, secrets like working very hard, thinking in a positive way, setting clear goals, never giving up even when life feels very difficult, and always continuing to learn new things, maybe you are sitting there and wondering, how can I start using these secrets in my own life today? And that is truly a wonderful question, because learning about success is the first important step. But using these ideas in your real life, every day, is the real magic that will help you grow and become the best version of yourself. And the good news, my friends, is that you do not have to change everything in one big moment. You do not have to be perfect from the beginning, and you do not have to feel worried if the journey feels long, because success is built slowly, gently, and patiently with small, simple steps. And every little step you take today is already bringing you closer to your dreams tomorrow.
Yes, Adam. And I think it is very important to tell everyone who is listening today that it does not matter where you are starting from right now. It does not matter if you feel strong or weak, rich or poor, confident or shy, because success is not about being the smartest or the fastest person. It is about being the person who decides to start with what they have, to use the tools they already carry inside their heart, and to take one small step forward every day, even if the step feels tiny, because tiny steps, when repeated again and again with love and patience, can become a beautiful journey that changes your life in ways you cannot even imagine right now. And you must remember that nobody begins their journey already standing at the finish line. Every success story starts with a first small step, and so can yours, if you simply begin today.
That's so true, Julia. And my dear friends, I want you to remember that you do not need to feel ready for everything at once, because feeling a little afraid, a little nervous, or a little unsure is completely normal when you start something new. But the most important thing is that you begin anyway, that you trust that you will grow stronger with each new experience, and that you believe deep inside yourself that you have a beautiful power inside your heart and mind, a power that can help you work hard, think positively, set your own special goals. Never give up when life gets difficult, and always stay curious to learn more every day. Because success is not about doing everything perfectly right away. It is about showing up, trying your best, and trusting that small actions, repeated with love and hope, will create big results over time.
Yes, and I think a very beautiful way to begin using these secrets today is by making a small promise to yourself. A promise that says, today, I will take one small step toward my dream. And that small step could be anything, like studying English for 10 extra minutes, writing down one goal you want to reach, practicing one new positive thought in your mind, choosing not to give up when something feels difficult, or reading or listening to something that teaches you something new. Because every time you take even one small action, you are telling yourself, I believe in my future. And little by little, these small steps will become powerful habits, and these habits will become your strength, and your strength will become the beautiful bridge that carries you toward the life you dream about.
Exactly, Julia. And I also want to share something very important for all our wonderful listeners to remember, and that is this. Successful people are not successful because they never fail, because the truth is, every successful person you see today has failed many times in their life. They have made mistakes, they have fallen down, they have felt tired, they have felt afraid, but the difference is that they did not stop when they failed. They did not quit when things got hard. They stood back up, they tried again. They learned from their mistakes, and they kept moving forward. And you, my dear friend, can do the same if you promise yourself that no matter how many times you fall, you will always find the strength inside you to stand back up and keep going, because every mistake you make is not the end. It is just a lesson that makes you wiser, stronger, and even more ready for success.
Yes, and another small thing you can start doing today is to build a simple success journal, where every day you can write down one thing you did well, one thing you learned, or one step you took toward your dream. Because sometimes when we are working hard, we forget to notice our own progress, and we start to feel like we are not moving forward. But if you take a few minutes every night to write down even the smallest success of your day, you will start to see that you are growing, you are improving, and you are already walking toward your goals, even if it feels slow, because small wins, when added together day after day, become the great victories of life. And when you can see your own progress written in front of you, it will give you more confidence, more energy, and more love for your beautiful journey.
That's such a powerful idea, Julia. And I believe that if you can also find one person, maybe a friend, a family member, or even a teacher, someone who believes in you and supports your dreams, and you share your small goals and small victories with them, then you will feel even more motivated, because success becomes even sweeter when you have someone to celebrate your small steps with. And when you feel supported, you will find extra courage inside your heart to keep going on the hard days, because no one becomes successful alone. Behind every successful person, there are always friends, family, teachers, mentors, and people who gave them a smile, a word of encouragement, or a little push to keep going when they wanted to stop. So do not be afraid to ask for support. and do not be afraid to offer your support to others too.
Yes, and finally, my dear friends, I want to remind you that your journey to success will be full of beautiful days and hard days, easy moments and difficult moments, smiles and maybe even a few tears. But every part of the journey is important. Every experience is helping you grow stronger, wiser, kinder, and more ready to become the beautiful, powerful, and successful person you were always meant to be. So be patient with yourself, be kind to yourself, and believe that even when the road feels slow or heavy, every small step you take is writing a beautiful story that you will one day look back on with pride and joy. And the most important thing is to keep moving forward with hope in your heart and a smile on your face, because your future is waiting for you, and it is more beautiful than you can imagine right now.
Beautiful words, Julia. And my dear listeners, we believe in you. We are proud of you, and we are so excited to see all the amazing things you will create in your life, because by choosing to listen to this podcast today, by choosing to learn, to grow, and to dream bigger dreams, you have already taken the first brave step toward becoming one of those highly successful people we have been talking about. And if you remember these secrets and use them in small, simple ways every day, we believe that you can and you will create a life full of success, happiness, and endless, beautiful possibilities. All right, my wonderful friends, we are now coming to the end of today's special podcast. But before we finish, we want to take a few more minutes to send you a very big, very warm, and very important message from our hearts to yours. Because everything we shared with you today, all the secrets of highly successful people like working hard, thinking positively, setting clear goals, never giving up, and always continuing to learn, are not just ideas or words. They are real tools, real powers that you already have inside you. And if you remember them, believe in them, and use them every day, you can build a life that is stronger, happier, and more beautiful than you ever thought possible.
Yes. And I want you to remember something very, very important today. Something that maybe nobody has told you before in exactly these words. And that is this: you are already good enough to begin. You are already strong enough to dream. You are already smart enough to learn. And you are already brave enough to take the first small step toward your future. Because success is not only for a few lucky people. It is not only for people with money or special gifts. It is for every person who dares to dream. Every person who decides to work a little harder, to think a little bigger, and to believe a little deeper in their own beautiful possibility. And today, because you are here, listening, learning, and growing with us, you have already shown that you have the heart of a successful person beating inside you.
That's right, Julia. And my dear friends, I want you to understand very deeply that success is not a straight line, and it is not a race where you have to be faster than everyone else, because real success is like a big, long adventure, full of mountains and valleys, full of sunshine and rain, full of easy moments and hard challenges. But every step of the way, even the difficult ones, are teaching you, shaping you, and helping you become stronger, wiser, kinder, and more ready to live your dreams. And when you feel tired or lost, when you feel like success is too far away, I want you to close your eyes, take a deep breath, and remind yourself that you are already walking the path. You are already learning the skills, and you are already building the life you were born to live, one small brave step at a time.
Yes, Adam. And if I can share one final beautiful idea today, it is this. Every morning when you wake up, you are given a new chance, a fresh start, a clean page to write a new chapter in your life story. And even if yesterday was difficult, even if you made mistakes, even if you felt afraid or sad, today is a brand new day full of possibilities, full of hope, full of energy, and you can choose right now to stand up, to smile, to believe in yourself again, and to take one small action toward your dreams, because success is not about never falling down. It is about always getting back up with hope in your heart and courage in your steps. And if you keep getting back up, you will be amazed at how far you can go, how much you can achieve, and how many beautiful dreams you can turn into reality.
And remember, my friends, you do not have to walk this journey alone, because here at the English Globe, we are always with you, cheering for you, believing in you, and supporting you every step of the way. Because when you learn new words, when you practice new ideas, when you listen to new podcasts like this one, you are not just improving your English, you are also strengthening your mind, your heart, and your future. And we are so proud of you, so thankful to share this journey with you, and so excited to watch you grow, because your success is not just a dream. It is something real, something powerful, and something that is already beginning inside you today.
Thank you so much for spending this time with us. Thank you for opening your heart and mind to these powerful ideas, and thank you for believing in yourself enough to listen, learn, and take the first steps toward your own beautiful success story. Because we believe with all our hearts that you have everything you need to create an amazing future, and we are so honored to be a small part of your journey today.
Until next time, my friends, remember, you are strong, you are smart, you are brave, and you are already on your way to a life full of success, happiness, and dreams come true. So keep walking, keep dreaming, and keep believing, because the best is yet to come.
See you in the next episode, everyone. Keep shining and never stop moving forward.